One of the things I would say with this new sort of advent of technology, and you sort of
Mhm.
touched on it with like streaming platforms. Now, like I'm a kid of the 70s and 80s, and
Yes,
basically,
me
yeah,
too.
the rise of MTV and basically seeing how it changed everything. And basically, the
Lately.
three major artists what utilized that one Michael Jackson, Prince, and Madonna to like take
Right.
things forward. And it was like, okay, like frig, the Thriller video, which was like a truly sort of cinematic piece. And you're like going, okay, wow. Like,
Yes,
and
yes.
see that everyone talked about that. And it sort of like, that's the way music was basically promoted, sold for, like up until the sort of like sort of mid no late 90s, sort of early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yes.
Yeah,
And CD came about.
yep. It was then. It was a case of the internet sort of came in. You had your Napster and everything like this,
Yes,
and
yes.
like it kind of. I wouldn't say it changed it too much, but now, would you say streaming music has affected the way music's produced? It's not maybe not as long, or it's done
Ah,
something different along that lines.
yes, you notice, huh? You notice. That's great. Yes, absolutely. Yes, and the reason for that is that yes, this is a with the streaming with
Mm,
with the way it is in streaming, it is a very fickle thing. I mean, you've got access when you enter your streaming platform, you've got access to over 70 million songs.
mm,
People are like this. I'm gone. I need to impress you right away. 30 seconds counts as a stream. Anything. So I just need to hold you for 30 seconds to get a stream as regarded by the streaming platforms. Anything under that is nothing. That's like the person skipped it. So
oh,
so that's very important. I just want 30 seconds of your time. And also, as far as playlist, a lot of playlist curators will not add you if your song is over 4 minutes. So songs have gotten shorter and shorter. The 4 minute song is like some dinosaur now.
wow.
Not going to deal with it because unfortunately this goes into the because this goes a little bit into the black market. A lot of playlist curators are operating on the event. They buy plays for their playlist.
Yeah.
That's how they draw you in, right? So I'm going to charge this artist money for my playlist, but the artist needs to see they're getting streams. So the playlist curator will buy streams. And if I have a certain amount of songs on my playlist, I need them to be as short as possible so I can go around so I can purchase more and get more of an effect on each song. You know, if I have longer songs, then I can't add as much, and that's reducing the amount
Yeah.
that's reducing the amount of pull I'm going to get for each of these plays I buy. So all of that has played into this whole 2 minutes, 3 minutes at best. I mean, I've gotten back into music production on the EDM side, and same thing. My song is 2 minutes and 22 seconds, 240, 250, and one is 310, which I was very disappointed about.
Monster.
This-
It's like,
yes, that's like an extended mix from back in the days. You know, I come my mother played these 12 inches, these disco 12. They're like 15 minutes. It just like,
yeah.
my goodness, when is this ending? No, boy, no, no, no. We got a lot more to go. Like, oh my goodness. But yes, yes. So that is really affected. And TikTok has been another another some would call it a detriment, but you know, the whole TikTok thing. So people are even keeping their songs 50 seconds, a minute 10. It is getting to the point where that's why I'm saying some call it a detriment. You
Yeah.
know, because are you really creating something to last the test of? Are you creating a composition? Or are you just creating something that people are going to engage with and be entertained with,
Yeah.
and that's it.
No,
You know,
because yeah, because like this is the thing. Okay, don't get me look. I've got kind of a eclectic sort of taste in music and stuff like this,
hmm
but it's mostly drawn out through sort of music videos. If I had to, if the music video is quite cinematic, it basically gets me. Like so, Thriller,
hmm
like and like this is one of my favorite music videos, and this might sound strange, but November Rain, Guns N' Roses, that video, it's 11 minutes long, and like you watch it, it's like yeah, it's like watching a little microfilm and like like to sort of like oh yeah cut it down to 2 minutes, you're like oh what, like maybe it's just, maybe it's because I'm too old or I've like been exposed to that like way.
Mm,
But I think 2 minutes like is not good. Like put it this way, I bought the Warren G album and it was 27 minutes. I was pissed off to say the least. It's like going it like because yeah, at the time a single could be 27 minutes, a whole
yeah,
album 27
yeah,
minutes.
back
Yeah. So would
wow.
you say they like just from your point of view, would you say
Hmm.
there's been a sort of decline in quality?
Oh yes, 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 because the mode has become quantity now instead of the quality.
Mm,
Yes, even the Spotify CEO Daniel Ek, promoted artists should just keep releasing music. Spotify wants content. He said artists should just keep releasing music. And obviously, if you're trying to provide any type of quality, you're not just going to release music every month.
mm,
You know, I mean, first you want to release your music and actually have the time to promote it and work with. You're just not going to do that. But and that's promoted with many of the streaming platforms, the digital distributors as well. They're like, provide us content,
yeah.
feed us, and it's more quantity. Hey, I released 15 singles this year. Are they great? Are they really, solid things?
Yep.
Maybe not, but I've got 15 singles out on this platform. Come check it out. I can go to my socials and say I've got 15 songs out. It's kind of yeah, it's kind of a race to I've got the content, okay?
Mm,
And that's what the streaming platforms want, and that's kind of what's promoted now. And I guess that has a lot to do with social media. They always encourage artists, and I encourage artists as well to be active on your social media, show you're doing things,
yeah.
show activity. And I think a lot of artists mistake that with, okay, I need to release. I released something last month. Okay, that doesn't mean I need to release something. Just keep them interested. No, keep them interested with other things you're doing, but you don't have to. So I released it. I released it. I
Yeah.
released it, and that's the mode now. And then, as you know, it wasn't that I didn't come from that. I mean, some artists would drop an album, and probably 2 years later, an album would come. Let alone albums are a dinosaur themselves. Singles, an EP is what you're gonna get these days. Maybe a 3 or 4 song EP at the
Yeah.
most. So that's the mode these days. Unless like Taylor Swift and The Weeknd, those type of mainstream artists, they still drop albums, but the independent artist is usually not going to drop an album.
Yeah.
No.
No, because like this is a thing. Like two things what sort of tie up in my mind. One, like the sort of like how you mentioned, like, yeah, people who create these playlists like buy actual streams like to
Yeah.
get these like playlists get boosted up to get mostly more sort of traffic or the algorithm to kick in. And
Yes.
two, when you mentioned Taylor Swift, like Taylor Swift has had a very interesting journey recently with the whole sort of legal like side of it,
Yes.
because like
Mhm.
one of the things like, and I wasn't aware of this. No, like I was kind of aware of this because of like the Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson story about Masters. Yeah,
Yes,
like
sir.
like yeah, she was
Classic.
like yeah trying to like she was like pissed off because yeah her Masters like she
Yes.
doesn't own them or anything like this, and like
No.
you know what I mean. Most artists, let's be honest, it's always kind of front loaded because that's their most like at the time that was their most relevant. That's when they were the freshest, everything like this. They could that was all
Mhm.
they concentrated on. So it's going to bring in more revenue.
Yeah.
Now she's like kind of she's like okay, she's most like you got to call her a top three artist at this point in
Definitely.
time. Yeah,
Definitely. Yes.
yeah. And like if she has no power with regards to that. I know she got a new contract to like go, my masters are my masters, do not mess with me. And like they went, yes, just sign. You'll be okay. Like but when like they saw I think you can tell me, like, but didn't her masters get sold on to another company or something like that?
Yes. 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 And that's the thing. Yes. And I mean, I would say, yes, and I'm not exaggerating. I would think, and I would say 99% of artists who sign to a label, you don't own your masters.
Mm,
That's part. It's the trade-off. Yes, for the trade-off to the record label's resources, contacts in the industry, and their financial backing behind you, you in a sense you transfer your copyright of your master recordings over to them. And I know it's the terms. I mean, there's something that has to be done with it because it's kind of offensive that even after your contract is done, I can understand if during the length of your time with that record company,
Yeah.
they own the right to your masters. That's beautiful. But after they've moved on, they've dropped you, you've gone on to another label, or maybe now you're just independent. They still own the right. They could release they release greatest hits things. They put your stuff in movies against you see your stuff in commercials, and you're getting you're getting a little royalty from it, but they own the masses. They're getting the mass of all of that revenue, and it's just like you have absolutely zero control over it.
Mm,
It's frustrating. So there's a push now for many artists to just saying, listen, I'm gonna do this independently, and I wonder sometimes because I mean, when you sign with a record label, it is a bank loan in essence. It's a loan. Record label gives you in advance. That is not your money. Many artists fail to. That's why they call it in advance.
yeah.
When you sign to a record label, they'll say, let's say, here's 250,000. That money is to record your album. That's in your entire budget. Record your album, do your budget, do your promotion, all that stuff. Yes, that's not your money.
Mm,
You don't start earning until they've recouped all of that money back from sales, from merchandise, from anything until they recoup that 250,000 back. You owe them,
mm.
and it's a never-ending cycle. So, okay, first project, I still owe you. I say no problem. You'll get it back on the second album. Now they're giving you more money to record that, and it's just a never-ending cycle. That's how you some people may be in awe when they see these big time artists, like you'll see a TLC say that we're broke.
Mm.
And I didn't understand that then until I started really getting into the weeds of how the music industry works. Now I understand how they're broke. I mean, they toured the world and they're broke.
Yeah. Like they had, like, was it a good fight? Like they had a good 5 year turn in the 90s
Yes,
where like they were
up to the
literally
top
everywhere.
echelon of
Yeah.
the charts. Yes,
Uh,
not earning a thing. All the record companies getting
mm.
all of
No,
that management and record company.
yeah, I feel like they need to sort of, anyone who deciding to become an artist in any formal way, they need to like sit down and like really sort of have like take a business acumen course, because like
Yes,
the whole thing is, uh, it's a story which you keep on hearing. This person's being screwed out of this,
it's
that person's
constant.
screwed out of this.
Yes,
Like you go, right, they don't get a royalty check for that, and like you're like going, what's going on here? And like, okay, surely one person should have learned from, but it seems like it's this always going on the same way.
never ending
And
circle.
yeah,
Yes.
and like this is the thing, if like sometimes it's like, oh look, yeah, like scrape up 10 grand together. Why? So you can get a good lawyer to simply just sit down and go through your contract and go, yeah, this, that, the other, take that out, get me this and them. And that might be the best 10 grand investment you might
Oh
actually
my
think
goodness.
about. But
Yes. It's just frustrating. I mean, look how big of an artist Prince was. He's walking around for years with the slave on his cheek. Warner
yeah,
Brothers had him by the by the
mm,
neck.
yeah,
Big artists like that. All these albums, he's like, I don't want to create this. That's when he started. He's releasing album after album just to get through the contract,
yeah.
you know? And that wasn't the Prince I knew. I didn't enjoy that type of music.
No,
He's just putting it out.
yeah, because he had to.
Yes.
Like it was like he was caught in a snare and he was desperately trying to chew his way out. So
Yeah.
if he had to leave a limb or two, yeah, so be it. Uh, yeah, but like this is the thing.